Okay.
Oh, go right ahead, please. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you.
You know why they let ladies go first?
Why?
Because you smoke that nasty shit first.
You know,
I don't have to do it.
Since I'm a one-hitter quitter, you need more? Are you good?
All right, do one more.
Yeah, you can smoke as much as you'd like.
It's perfect.
Nice. Okay. And if you want more during the interview, that's right there for you.
Well, thank you very much.
Like I
that was
said.
just right. That was perfect.
Okay, cool. Welcome to Mystic Conversations with Awakening Stoners. This week, I am so excited and honored to welcome Mr. Gary Brooks Faulkner. In 2010, traveled to Pakistan, and you were hunting Bin Laden.
Yes.
But Rocky Mountain Rambo. So how does that make you feel that you were the Rocky Mountain Rambo?
Well, it was very unexpected, but, people come up with unique names and stuff like this. And so, it was, I guess, appropriate for the time and
For
things.
sure.
Yeah. So.
I think that's pretty honorable. Actually.
Yeah, it was cool. They give you a decent name instead of some of the other things that come up.
It could have been worse.
Yeah. Well, they came up with quite a few inventive names like the Falconator.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and then the Osama Hunter.
Yeah.
And then Gary Brooks Faulkner, the American Ninja.
Oh my God. So because you did martial arts.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like
Hapkido.
Hapkido. Oh, that's like using other people's energy against them, or is that Aikido?
Well, Aikido and Hapkido are very similar in a lot of ways, but Hapkido deals more with stresses on the body and things, to where, when you get a hold of somebody,
right,
they know they're screwed. So unless they're another artist that is able to defend and go against, but most arts won't. I mean, Aikido and Hapkido. Now there's other. I mean, I'm not dogging any other arts or anything like that. That's just the art that I went with. Everything's different, So.
So when you were, I don't want to say caught, because you weren't really caught. You kind of almost like surrendered in Pakistan, yeah?
Well,
was it in Pakistan, or were you crossing the border?
No, I was in Pakistan, and what happened the night before, or actually the day before, Al Qaeda came in and was giving the village where I was staying at their boundaries, where they can go, where they can't go, where they could tend their sheep and their flocks and things like this. And it just so happens, I mean, this was just one of those days that the spirit led me to. I'm waiting for he would be the head, because the Greeks there. That's where Alexander the Great had stopped. So a lot of his men that were wounded, didn't want to come back, what have you, stayed there. So when you see him, you actually instantly know, I'm looking at a Greek right here. They don't look nothing or act anything like the Pakistanis. I mean, they're friendly, but still quite different peoples. And so very interesting. But it just so happens that I shoot on down to the Pakistani tourist thing, that if you want a nice place to stay with water and showers. Now, if you stay at the hostels and things like me at Ishbada, at my friend's place, then you got water, but it's cold and, a little more rustic, which is cool by me. I loved it. Right. But I treated him to a good chicken and other meal when I'm getting ready to take off and either do a recon, or in this case was getting ready to take on off to go up into the mountains. When all of a sudden the gates open and here's all these Al Qaeda people come walking in. Now they didn't notice me because I have a rose bush here and I'm underneath this big apple tree.
Oh man.
So I'm sitting in the shade right here, kicking back. Now I already just ran into these people not long ago. So, it's just
so
like.
they knew that you were there.
they knew very much that I was there. And so my buddy Fizey got up and he walked across, and there's the sidewalk they're walking on, and he walked to the other side of the sidewalk so they would look at him and stuff. That
Nice.
worked good for a minute. Then the guy at the back of the line there decides to start sightseeing, and he looked over and saw me. I don't know, his lips moved, and instantly, like on cue, they all just turned and looked at me. Next thing I know, here's all these cameras and phones and stuff out. They're taking pictures of me. So then they tell Fizey that the situation here. So he comes back and sits down, and as quickly as they came, they ghost out of there. Just it was really something else. I mean, and they're all over there. And he goes, well, I got some bad news, and I got some really bad news. I go, oh, yeah? Well, what's the bad news? He goes, well, they just gave us the ultimatum and our boundaries where we can go to our herders and our people to get wood and different things like that. All right, what's the really bad news? Well, they know who you are, and they've almost had you on a couple of occasions. I go, yeah, I do.
And they would have just beheaded you, right?
Oh yeah, they would have. Oh, this would have been a sweet one too.
Yeah.
So, he goes, but because it was a neutral thing, no one knew I was going to be there. No one had anything but a freaking camera or phone. So, it was pretty cool.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And so, he's all worried and stuff. He goes, and you can't leave here. They've got the only bridge to get out of the canyon, the Kalash area there, is you either walk over these treacherous mountains into Afghanistan or try and go north or south. But it's not the actual Himalayas. It's a branch off the Himalayas. And so the Hindus or something like this, I have to look at the map. Right. Anyway, these are treacherous mountains here. And so, he goes, they said they're coming back tonight to kill you, and that's it. Well, they called the military or the police, and they came up. Now, the little guy who was watching me one night, it was, his turn to watch me because I had guard on me all the time. I slipped out on him at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Seriously?
Yeah, when I came back from my recon, he goes, I got up at 5 this morning. You weren't here. I said, you should have woke up at 1 o'clock. He goes, how did you get past me? I go, that's what I do, man. And he was sleeping in the room. The next guy they gave me, he slept outside the door, and he had his cot out there.
You're not going to sleep.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, pal. It's not going to stop me either. So that night, just when it got dark, because when it gets dark, it's like all of a sudden the light switch goes off and it's dark. So I donned on my gear and my clothing, walked right past him, down the steps, and just disappeared in the night. He didn't have a chance to shout or scream. I'm telling you what, poor old guy. He had an AK-47 that was so old, but
really?
You knew it still worked though, boy. I'll tell you what, those AKs, they made them good. So that's when I took off. So then the whole area, I always do this when I'm in an area. Wherever most people go and stuff, I always travel there. I never let them see me going off path. But I knew there was a path behind me leading up along the skirts of the mountain, and then I could get out of there. So I already knew the way I was going to go.
You just have that in the back of your mind. So that
I already know exactly what, if something happens, you go this way. Even though I haven't seen the territory, it doesn't matter. It's just that I know what my plan. And that's the least place they would expect you to go right away. Because right away, here's all these people with flashlights are looking for me out there. The police, military, the people, the both Pakis and the Greeks. Yeah, it was something else. It was cool just out there at night, just standing there. I was like invisible. But then I went out, and there was a house here, and I was going to go around to, would say, the right of the house.
Right.
And there's the huge mountain. But there's a little ravine that comes through there. All of a sudden, the dog started barking.
Mm.
And I stopped. And I knew they weren't barking at me.
As the dogs
Yeah,
bark.
as the dogs bark. And they weren't barking at me because I knew I was far enough away. I knew the wind and everything else in the house.
Yeah.
So someone else all of a sudden was there. And these dogs are not just barking like the owner came out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something heavy. So then I went around the left of the house and I went out and I sat right dead center in the field. There isn't shit out there but just me sitting in the middle of the field. So it's dark.
Yeah.
So I look like a rock or something sitting there. And those dogs must have barked for 2 hours before I got up and I took off towards Afghanistan.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't going to Afghanistan.
Right. You were
I was just getting away from this heavy. There was just too much going on, too much heavy activity. So I moved up towards, I guess I'd have to look at the map, but I would say heading west, north, something like that. And I came across, it was just getting ready to be dawn, and I'm getting tired, and I know I got to get out of the light and stuff. So here's these two big boulders, and the way they're set, it was like a little cave right in there. Perfect place to go in and settle in and things. I get in here, I'm settled in, and the next thing I know, here's these little goats, these little baby goats come in here.
Huh.
And this little black one was right here on the rock behind me, and I'm petting it, and these other ones were in here, and then he jumped out and they left. Then all of a sudden there's this dude that freaked his ass out because he knew they're looking for me.
Yeah.
And like, what do I do here? So he's stuck because now he can't go anywhere except for to just keep going on up. So he did that. Then these two little cute little girls, I thought, man, they're following Papa. Oh, how cute and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm off in La La Land right now because there's daylight out now. So there's some options. Next thing I know, I'm hearing a thump, 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 thump. What the hell? I come out of that thing. I'm looking. Here's these little girls throwing rocks at me. I shit you not. I thought if I had a rock, I'd bust you upside the head myself.
You make it all this way, and nobody can find you. And these two little girls that can take you out with rocks.
I know, really. That's when I saw the two military guys down at the bottom down there, and they stopped throwing rocks then. And so they came on up to me. And so they're up, and I'm telling them, come on, man, let's go up over the hill. We just got to go a little ways. And so they weren't going anywhere for shit, man.
God.
You could see the fear in their eye. They didn't even want to be where we were at and stuff. So they took my sword and my dagger and stuff. So I'm under the rock getting my bag, in the little cave thing, getting my bag and stuff, and they're watching me. And I unzip the big part of it. I pull out this 30 caliber Chinese pistol, lock and loaded the thing. I told them, shit. It lowered the hammer down so I didn't blow my ass off. Unzip my little teeny zipper in the back because the pistol fits in there really good, just right for a quick grab if I needed it. Then I slung the bag over my shoulder, and I told the guys, you know, we're being watched right now, and I knew we were being watched. There was no doubt because we were in an area that a little old lady had just previously threw rocks at me and stuff. So, no. They're very protective and watching of each other's territory. And so we walked out of there. Then we were able to get past the little town and everything else, the village, and got hooked into the vehicle after we crossed the little river, and they drove us back down to the Ishbada Inn there. And here's all these bigwig military guys. Now they're doing a debriefing with me right here, right now about, you know, where do all those guys go?
Military?
Yeah, oh yeah. And I told them, look, guys, you know, I don't want to be rude or anything, but think about this. Your head's on a platter with mine, either beside or with you guys. You already know they're wanting to kill me.
Yeah.
And you used your radios, didn't you? Yeah. They're on your frequency too. So you know what? I think we should really get out of here, and then we can talk when we get down to the base or something like that.
Right.
They looked at each other. They said something real quick in Urdu, and they they were grabbing shit that wasn't even mine and throwing it in my bag.
Like,
And
let's just go now.
and that's exactly it. Because wait a minute, because we're trapped right there. They have all the high territory all around us,
Right.
and they already know that that's true because they already talked to the elders and everybody else there. And plus, it's their territory, so they know how it works up there. And so we got out of there, and that was really cool. So, but no,
goodness.
I wasn't arrested or captured or anything.
Right.
You know, we hooked together. They were up there to help me. Actually, they were the guys that gave me the guard to protect me and stuff too.
Wow. So they treated you really well.
Oh no, man, I not a bad word to say about them.
Very
So you know, and then some people say, well, you say Packies and that's a derogatory word and stuff, and I think you're full of shit.
Yeah.
We say Brits, we say Canucks, you know, Aussies
Right.
and things.
Right.
You know, I mean, it is nothing. I'm not a British person. I'm an American. You know, what my cousins say and think, that's their problem, their business.
Yeah.
I'm here in America, and what I say and think is my business, and the Packies are cool. I got nothing against them. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so I mean, at that point, you needed to go back because you needed dialysis.
Oh yeah, I need dialysis bad.
Were you feeling like how did you feel when you're out there trekking and hiding from people and trying to, and I'm like,
well, the thing is that
were you like getting dizzy or anything? Like, how was that working?
No, because what happened was just that the day before all this went down, I was at the crossroad of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I went down and we went to the I forgot the name of it, but there's an actual kidney.
Oh, there's like a
big building there and stuff.
Hospital or something, or
exactly, it was like a hospital.
Right.
I walked in there and I got all my paperwork from the dialysis in where I was doing dialysis in Greeley. Went in there, gave him the paperwork and stuff. The doctor looked it all over, and at that time, that's when I had the tubes in my chest. I got right here. You see a scar?
Right, yeah.
Well, that's the tubes that went down to my heart. And that's what hooked you into the machine until you can get a fistula.
So you had that
when I was there.
While you went over, left here knowing that?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, I left here. As a matter of fact, I even asked my doctor if he would give me a second dialysis the next day after this dialysis I had. So I had 2 really good dialysis before I took off.
And you were there for about a week, yeah?
No, I was there a lot longer than that.
Were you?
Yeah, I was there like 3, maybe 4 weeks actually, because it was supposed to be like 2 weeks, but then I had 10 days with the military bases and stuff. So no, it was more. No, so it'd be about 21 days and stuff, but still. People, I mean, it's like almost like clockwork. Everybody that I've known that got off of dialysis while they still were waiting for a kidney or something, normally died within 3 days.
That's crazy.
You know, it is. It's just like that's just the way it worked.
Yeah.
And
did you get a transplant, or are you
yes,
still...
I did get a transplant many years later, and so.
And everything is working well now.
Yeah, actually, everything's working real good. So, you know, I'm a happy camper there. So me and the kid, we're doing real good.
Good. You and the kid.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Kid, yeah.
So when they found you, you had a Bible.
Yes.
You had a sword.
Yes.
A pistol.
Yes.
Hashish. They call it hashish.
Hashish, yes.
But it's cannabis, right? And what else did you say you had? Night scope.
Night scope.
Those are the things that you brought.
Yeah, those are the things.
Or you got the hashish, as they call it, there.
Yeah.
Is it legal there, or like how does that?
Well, it is, and it's one of those unsung things. It is, and it is, and if you get caught, it gives them an excuse to take your hash and smoke it and stuff. That's what it is. But no, I had a really good insight to a tribe that.
You had some good friends. Like you just made friends out there.
Man, I made a lot of good friends and contacts, man. I mean, because they never saw nobody like me say, oh, man, this America is pretty cool and stuff like that. Hell, one time I'm even out here like a fool in Citral, and here's this big parade. Everyone's shouting and hooting and everything else because I thought they won the cricket, the championship, which they did. They weren't celebrating no cricket. I'm out here dancing around and they're going by me looking at me like, what in the hell is this dude? Don't he know anything?
Like down. Good girl. Okay, I'm sorry.
You know everybody's
Now,
kids.
I know. I'm like,
Hi,
Halo,
you.
knock it
Oh, come
off.
on up. Come on. Come on. You want up? Come on. There
my
we
goodness.
go.
So
Yes.
funny. She's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
I'll sit
okay.
with you.
That's cool. She's a
She'll
good
love
girl.
on you.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
friend who has a little chihuahua, a couple of them, and they're pretty cool. They're all right. You
Oh, my
know,
goodness.
yeah.
So funny. Yeah,
Mhm.
Halo's a love. Okay, so sorry, where were we? Dialysis. We were talking about dialysis.
Yes, and so I got dialysis there, and so that was the crossroad. It was either A, go back up, the spirit is leading me to go back up, or B, pack it in and head to the airport and
Right.
catch the plane the next day.
Oh my goodness.
So the next day was either a plane back home or an encounter with Al Qaeda face to face, up close
no
and in
thanks.
person. Man, I'm glad
Divine
I didn't get
intervention
on that
once again,
plane.
right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
And
so crazy.
so I know it is really
Like by the
incredible.
skin of your teeth, and you got help and everything, and you made friends, and
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, it's easy to say, oh, I do this or I do that.
yeah,
But once you're in a situation, most people that want to take control would panic and stuff.
Yeah.
Me, I just followed the spirit and, always was led in safe places.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm
Amazingly.
walking and people don't see me because I have a special, I don't know what they call it, but it's like a gown that you throw over your clothing and stuff.
Okay.
And so I was led to go get that. And so that was a really cool experience. And so, just the whole everything to get to even where I'm at now is nothing short
Yes.
of spiritually
Extremely
miraculous.
Spiritual, yes, extremely.
Mhm.
That is the weirdest, craziest thing. I'm just like in awe of all these things. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, I've got so many questions for you, and I'm like, but I'm glad that we're just kind of flowing now.
No, we
It's
could
great.
just flow, no problems.
It's wonderful. Okay, so did we already talk about the satire, the Army of One? I know that we talked about that out like outside and a little bit in here, but I want to talk about. So I was like, I was like almost offended. I was like, I cannot believe they made like this, made you look kind of like you were silly and crazy, but you met Nicolas Cage, and so you're played by
Nicolas Cage, right? Yeah.
And he was kind and everything was all good. Like,
Man,
tell me about that.
the whole crew was totally cool. I mean,
Right.
everybody, Larry who directed it and stuff, Nick who played in it, and then all the other the actors and or the people that are behind the scenes that were there. Because I didn't meet everybody. It was just pretty much four of them, and so could be five. But anyway.
Right.
The thing was, we had a great time. We met in Vegas at the Palms, and it was really cool. We really had a really super good time. And no, I knew it was going to be a little comedy thing and stuff like this. And I busted my ass up. I mean, that was such a good. I mean, a good comedy to laugh at somebody's ass. Of course, I can laugh at myself better than most people.
I love that you can do that because I'm like, here, I'm like almost offended. And it's,
other people were too. Right. And I told them, don't be offended about that. I mean, this is really cool. This is a cute part of it.
Right.
But, there's things that go even deeper than, well, do I, no one asked me, do you want to shoot 'em up, bang, bang thing? Do you want this or that? It came down to just, it was going to be a cool comedy.
Right.
And I thought, you know what? That's a marvelous idea. Let's do something like that, make it light and things, because that's another point too, is that it keeps people from taking you serious.
That's true.
My worst thoughts and stuff came true when all of a sudden everything's in the news. I've been doing this thing covert for years and stuff.
Because you had gone before.
Oh yeah, like that's my 12th trip of going either to there or somewhere else in search of, you would say. And so I needed that to fade away.
Yeah.
And that's why, man, 11 years tomorrow to the
11 years
day.
ago tomorrow,
Wow.
June 6th. So when this airs, it's going to be on Tuesday. So it'll be, a couple days. But it's still the coolest thing that I get to do this interview. And I'm telling you, when I first started doing this Mystic Conversations with Awakening Stoners, you were the first person that I was like, maybe Uncle Gary will let me interview him. And then I hadn't talked to you because, like I said, we have we share
family, right? But we don't always get
we don't
together.
always talk, except for at like barbecues once in a while. It's like maybe once or maybe once a year, if even.
Yeah, I know.
But every time we're like, we always kind of run off and go, puff on a joint or something.
Yeah.
And then end up talking about all the spiritual stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I was so excited to have you.
Well, if you notice that a lot of people, after they puff pass, you find them speaking, all of a sudden it puts their mind in a different zone.
Right.
You're not thinking about the house, the neighbors, the work, the kids and stuff. You also start thinking spiritually. You start looking at things differently. It's just like all of a sudden, it's just like it overwhelms you that you can do nothing but think, dwell, or talk about something spiritual that either happened or is happening.
We have an endocannabinoid system, so we have receptors for this.
Yes,
right?
we do.
I'm like, why? And then it was very widely suppressed for a very long time. Do you think that plays into the spiritual part of it?
Well, it does, because you see, that's where religion comes in. There's two channels, 100 evil or 100 good. We are in the evil realm because we look at things physically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where our mistakes are at, is we think that the physical is the main point when really it's the spiritual, because the spiritual will lead you on your path.
Right.
People, oh yeah, you're one of these soothsayers and this, that. No, it's not. It is, we are created. Yes. And, we didn't come from no goo, no nothingness exploded and stuff. It makes absolutely zero sense unless you're brainless.
Yes.
But it's always the brainless ones that stand up and yell the loudest. It's got to be this way. Why? Because I say so.
Right? We're not going to actually know, or I would say remember instead of, know. We're not going to remember until we cross over, right? So,
yes. Well, the thing is that, when, everyone says, oh, the heaven and this and all that stuff, we sleep.
Yes.
When we leave the body, we go into sleep until either A, resurrection, or B, the millennium's over and the big white throne judgment happens at that time. That's when we meet our maker. But spiritually speaking, everyone, if you practice a little bit, you could start becoming attuned to the spirit. But we're so attuned to the body that I got to eat. Right. This hurts, or I'm going to lose something here, whatever, to where the spirit is more give and flowing.
Yes.
And our world is more take and holding. And so that's why people don't get to do big things. When you read in history, not just only the word, but when you read in history, people that do great and marvelous stunts and feats or something, that's because they allowed the spirit to take over and to help them, to where, boy, this person survived all this, but this little thing here, this person couldn't. He couldn't survive because he couldn't let go of what was around him.
Right.
And so when you start listening to the spirit, it'll take you places. Everywhere I've gone, I learned or did something. Like, for instance, in the movie The Boat, okay, I'm on the boat and it shows me all over the place.
I still have to watch the movie.
Right. Well, that's cute and all. Excuse me. But I was dead set course, headed straight way west. And it was a hurricane that hit me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I got caught in a hurricane, and it sent me all the way back into Mexico. If you look on the little finger of Mexico, then you got the Gulf of Mexico there on the Pacific side. There's a big little hook out that's in as you're going down. Ooh, yes, I know.
I've never heard her howl.
That's okay.
Never,
little
ever.
thing.
Halo, quit it. You're so funny. My goodness. I'm like, all these dogs, and I'm like, what is the deal? It's never like, there's never dogs around that are barking, and all of a sudden today they're just, it must be.
Yeah, they're all,
all
having a good time today.
excitement,
Yeah,
right?
it is excitement.
Yeah.
It's probably a spiritual thing.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay,
But
I've never heard her howl. That's so
poor
we
little
had
thing.
her for like 8 years.
Jeez.
Never heard her howl.
Poor little thing.
Oh my goodness.
Look at
Yeah.
this.
So what was it like being in a hurricane?
It was so cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, because
you have no fear whatsoever. I love that about you.
But see, the thing is that if you shy away from things or let fear take you,
yes,
you don't experience it. You don't see it. You don't feel it for what it really is. Man, I'll tell you what, I've never been on a sailboat before in my life. I barely even got out of San Diego Harbor. I had to get out of the boat just so I can get out of the harbor so I could push it along all the rocks and get out of this little square thing because I couldn't do it any other way.
Wow.
Everyone's getting the hell out of the way away from me. Thinking, oh, man, this guy ain't going to hit my boat. And so I get out in the harbor and I go, well, I just had an experience with the harbor patrol people. They're telling me I got an illegal boat. Yeah. Well, I do because I don't have any flares. The lights didn't work. I didn't have life jackets. I didn't have that much food. Didn't have a radio.
So it almost saved your life. I mean, it did. Like, as weird as that sounds, like it was like,
yeah, you can
not that it's good that you got stopped from that mission, but it's like it was not the right place or time.
There you go. The right place and time. The thing was, it was experience though. See, it taught me something very valuable. That should I go back, whether by sea or plane or whatever, I know what to expect, to prepare for. So I look at it that way. It's a learning experience also. But to be in it, it was so cool. Then I learned how to change out my sails in the middle of the storm and stuff without getting myself blown over.
You were by yourself.
By myself. And no flares, like I say, no life jacket, no nothing and things. But the coolest part of it,
life jacket.
Yeah, not even a life jacket.
Not that would have saved you in a hurricane.
Yeah,
I guess,
but the thing is, like I told the water patrol guy, hey, the Polynesians and all these other people, they just jumped on a little hacked out little, tribe, whatever, a cat, boat, a catamaran or something. They didn't have none of that shit either, man. They just took off, and so, I'll be okay. All right, you got to be out in so much time. Well, we started pulling the mast down and things, and I told my buddy at the time, I said, hey, man, let's put this out. Help me. Let's get this fucker back up. Hell with him. I beat his ass. The other two have left. So we put it up real quick, and that's when I'm hitting everything I get out. So I don't put up the mast yet. I let the motor take me past, and here's like a Coast Guard cutter or whatever they have out there, patrolling the ships. There was so many sailboats going down to Tijuana, Ensenada, and going down. So I just fell in line with them. And as we're taking the corner, I just kind of just kept on going. So now I'm going, and here's this big little island off to the right here as you're getting out of the harbor and stuff. And I set up the sail. I just set the sail, and once that sail got set, that wind hit me, and I mean, it went way over, like it almost pitched me out. And the next thing I know, I'm taking off like a striped ass ape, man. You could hear the water going shh, and I'm looking, it was just cutting through, like Jacques Cousteau or some kind of thing, just shh, and you could just hear it. And then the wind, the sail was set just right, and man, I'll tell you what, It was leaning over good, but boy, it had that, and I was going. Then before long, I lost sight of land, and then it started getting a little dark, and way off in the distance, some great big things in the water. It looked like a casino, is what it really looked like.
In the water?
Yeah.
Crazy.
When I got closer, I realized, oh, this is a drill derrick right here,
What's a
so
drill derrick?
for oil.
Oh, okay.
Oil
I
derricks
gotcha.
out there, and so
I'm not savvy to all of you.
yeah, so yeah, it was pretty cool. It was all right. I go
Wow.
past this thing, I'm looking up. Now I know they got me on radar here and
Yeah.
stuff that, hey, something's coming at us pretty fast, but it's going past us. Zip on past them. And then it's like, once I got past them, here was this big wide strip of effervescent green glowing in the ocean. And it looked like a carpet just set for me. Like you're
Wow,
running
yeah.
to the end zone, you're going all the way down. And it was so cool. I'll tell you what, it was an enchanting trip out there and stuff.
That's
But
so cool.
yeah, and it's easy to
You've
sell
had
at
some
night.
amazing adventures.
Yeah, you can't be afraid of life, man. I mean, when you go out and you check life, it's really cool. But like I said, I got caught in that hurricane. But when I was in the eye of the hurricane, that was, I mean, like something out of did you ever see the Truman Story with Jim
Yes,
Carrey?
yes.
That's what it was like, out on that little boat, but absolutely dead calm and not a thing around except for these
Wow.
little chickadee birds that would land on the water and take off and bounce around and stuff. There wasn't a plane, there wasn't a ship, there wasn't nothing out there.
Wow.
It was cool. And I'm kicking back, and then after a little while, I'm looking off to the distance, and I'm seeing something funny happening on the water, but I don't see anything else, nothing else around or
Yeah.
nothing. But something that's just like is building on the water coming towards me and building and building. And I realized what it was, the backside of the wall of the hurricane.
Oh my goodness.
That thing grabbed a hold of me, man, and it sent me just more southeasterly, I'd say. And
So it just pushed you and didn't.
I couldn't do it, man. No matter what I did, I could spin in a small area. My sailboat is a 21-foot seafarer, and
Oh my goodness.
I try and turn or do anything, I would literally spin and stuff. So I just let the storm take me. And so I was asleep up in the front of the bow there, and all of a sudden I come dead awake. I mean, now I'm in the middle of the storm. Now
Yeah.
I've been asleep or awake for a long time working the storm and stuff. Now it's time. That's it. So I'm on my belly, got my hands crossed like this, and the next thing I know, I'm wide awake, and I'm floating in the air, and I'm to myself,
Oh my
said,
goodness.
that's not natch. And just as I started saying natural and natch, I hit the bed. The boat had hit the water.
Oh man.
And the most eerie feeling. I mean, it was the most, I mean, you could feel the sensation of the vibration from the keel all the way down, all the way to you could feel it to the top of the mast. I knew something happened to this boat, but I didn't know what. So in the morning, I woke up and sure as shit, there was water on the bottom, at the bottom.
I can't believe it didn't just snap in half at that point in time.
Me neither. It was really something else because I had been high. I don't know what it was, but like I say, it was in that hurricane. So maybe a big wave just went whoop, set me up, and then all of a sudden I come down. But I hit hard.
So you have been on dialysis, been close to death there, basically. Almost caught by Al Qaeda. Like went to, by yourself.
On numerous occasions.
Yeah. Go to Pakistan, almost caught by Al Qaeda. Where then you came back and you're still having to deal with these kidney issues. And then, or I guess before that, you were on a boat in the middle of a hurricane, and still you have done all of these crazy things that people would be afraid. I mean, I don't like flying in an airplane.
I love flying. Give me a flight.
I don't like flying in an airplane because I'm like, oh my God, like it makes me feel like you know, have you ever seen the movie Bridesmaids? Probably not.
No, I haven't seen that
There's
one.
this part on there where she's just completely insane, and she's like drinking. Okay, I don't like drinking. I'm more of a weed kind of girl. You know, I'm all natural. I like to do all these, but I mean, put me on an airplane and I'm like, I need some Ativan or Klonopin and drinks, and like I don't like it. So I just act like a fool. But here you are doing all of these death-defying things, and you're still completely healthy, completely safe. It's divine intervention all the way. What do you think all that is?
Well, you know what? I believe everybody has a destiny. Most people choose to make their own destiny.
Right.
So when you follow your true destiny, you follow the spirit leading you, and you know, and you're honest with yourself about it, you know, because I know I'm not a Superman. I know I'm not, you know, King Kong and all that stuff. But because I listen to the spirit, I'm taken care of because of the obedience.
Right.
Now, if I went off, started doing my own little stupid thing and stuff, I always get hurt and jacked up. Believe me,
Right.
I've got my bumps and bruises and stuff. But yeah, I'm still up and about because I'm still consciously aware that I'm moving towards my destiny.
Right.
Okay. And if your destiny entails something greater than you, bigger than you, then you will you know, achieve it if you don't allow fear to get in the way,
Right.
doubt to get in the way, other people's opinions to get in the way.
Yeah.
Because I
That's a
can't
hard one.
yeah, see that, you know, because you know, like they say, public opinion or opinion of your peers and stuff, it's you know, because then they can make you sound, man, that doesn't really sound all, you know, in line with, you know,
Yeah.
what should be going on here. No. So what you do is, you know, you just have to have yourself, you have to have it set in your mind what you're going to do.
Right.
If you're going to do it, get off your ass and do it. If not, quit playing around and telling people, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. That's why I didn't tell anybody what I was doing.
Right.
Because it came down to where, you know what, I need to do it, and then you can talk about it.
Nope.
You know, that's but everybody else likes to talk about shit before anything's even happened. You know, they try and tell you, oh yes, I'm going to do this or that. It's just like, you know, I don't know, fixing the economy or anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, the problem is that a lot of these ideas are far-fetched. We'll take a break. We got somebody in the way. There we go.
Do you think that it's escalated, like because of the world now? Like we're in 2021, all of this crazy stuff happened last year.
Well, it's all biblical. Okay, everything is biblical. What we're in right now with this COVID right here is what is called the birth pains. Okay.
To me, this all ties into everything we're talking about in the New World Order and all these things. And there's so many people that are like, oh, those are all conspiracy theories. But a lot of these conspiracy theories are turning out to be true. So they're not theories.
Plus, you got to see the writing on the wall. And these people aren't stupid. They know it, but they don't want to make everyone panic because they don't have any answers to give. So it's business as usual.
Right.
But really behind the scenes, other things are taking place. That's